name is Honorable Rashid Amin, MP Wajir's constituency. We decided to have a joint meeting with the security agencies, the general public of Wajir Township, which falls in Wajir's constituency, which I represent in the National Assembly. Today, I came here to condemn in the strongest term possible the incidents which happened on 23rd, 3 days ago in Wajir Township, where security agencies took the law into their own hands and took a number of merchandises from their respective homes and their respective business premises and burnt them. I consider that as an affront and a breach into the security of my electorates and my constituents for that matter. And as a result of that, a number of items and foodstuffs, milk, sugar, and other products, other household products, which are essential for the food security of the citizens of this country, have been banned by security agents, and are here to condemn in the strongest possible terms as possible. This is an infringement into their rights. This is an infringement into their basic business ideals, and it's an affront to their living standard, to their living condition. So I strongly condemn that, and I asked the national security apparatus to apprehend and to take measures that are prudent and measurable to the actions they have taken so far. So that is an advice I will be able to give. My community and the people of Wajir have a number of challenges. The food in terms of basic foods, and bringing them these basic foods from as far as we don't have industries, we don't have other abattoirs for sale of livestock products, and basically we depend on merchandises which we bring all the way from other parts of the country and even across the borders from Somalia. The food that we consume here are relatively cheaper. They make their way from their neighboring countries, and they have relatively cheaper food. And I consider that one as a significant milestone in trying to alleviate people from there and meeting their basic needs. So these are challenges we have had. And we don't have industries. We have a biting drought that has affected the lives and the livelihood of the people in the region. The COVID, which has been with us for the last 2 years, has also been able to affect the lives and the livelihood of the people in this region. So raiding them, their businesses and their business premises is equally adding more injuries to their lives. So basically I condemn that, and I will ask the government to take and apprehend and take the necessary actions against those security operators that have used excessive force in executing their security arrangements. So that is the one I will be able to say. Two, I will ask also the fact that county security apparatus, we have had healthy discussions, and some of the challenges that have been affecting these residents have been enumerated, and they have also agreed to take the necessary actions as required and as demanded by the general public. So I expect as a way forward that we are going to have an amicable understanding between the security apparatus who have been paid by the nation and the taxpayers to protect the lives and properties of the people. So that is an arrangement we have done so far. There are issues that are also affecting us. We will not allow entry of ammunition, drugs, and there's a lot of substance drug abuse in this place, in this town. And some of them make their way from other places into this town. And that it has affected the lives of the youth. And so far, it has been an affront to our lives. So basically, we will urge also the general public whose premises are going to be used for brewing changa, selling of drugs and substances in their respective premises, also to alert the security apparatus so that we can be able to apprehend those who are spoiling the future of our youth. And the issue of the national in terms of entry of basic foods, sugar from our cross-border from Somalia, I urge His Excellency Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta with due respect. This is an issue that we have raised with you in your Ikulu. We have raised with you in the Parliament in regards to the opening of the border between us and Somalia. These are two neighboring countries. We totally depend on each other in terms of movement of people and basic commodities between both countries within the law. I will add, even the country is missing a lot in terms of revenue collection as a result of closure of the boundary between Somalia and Kenya. So I urge His Excellency Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta to heed to the plight of the people in northern Kenya as we approach these difficult circumstances to open the border with Somalia so that we can access basic foods which are relatively cheaper from this region, and our people can be able to afford to buy. Currently, the purchasing power of people has been eroded, tremendously eroded because of the drought, because of the COVID, and the only basic food they can be able to buy is this food that makes their way through the border, although unofficially, but it has been able to sustain our life, and it has been able to sustain the livelihood, and in terms of the purchasing power, the food that is available is relatively much cheaper than sugar that comes from Mumias. The sugar that comes from Malaysia or across other countries is relatively cheaper. So basically, it is ideally good for the basic survival of both. And even we depend on each other in terms of movement of livestock, in terms of grazing from one point to another, to that other end. So basically, we totally depend on each other, and I ask His Excellency Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta to support the opening of this border. But I will not condone any breach of security from both countries, and neither will I support incursion or Al-Shabaab or any other security infringement from the neighboring countries into Kenya. That is one thing that I will not be able to allow, and neither even a movement of arms and ammunition which are illegal, and their movement from the neighboring is one thing we will not be able to condone as leaders in the country. So basically, these are some of the issues that we have been able to discuss with the security apparatus and the general public, particularly the business community, so that we can be able to iron out the issues that have been sticking out for the last 2 or 3 days so far. And I would urge the general public to collaborate closely with security agencies to alert and flag out in case of any insecurity, movement of drugs and substance abuse into the town, other things that will be deterrent to us in terms of security, to work closely with the security agencies so that we remain peaceful in our township of Wajir, its constituency for that matter. And I will urge them to also open their business premises so that business can continue to thrive and be able to be engaged. And so this is an advice I will be able to give, and we have remarkably agreed on those principles to the future. And to take the necessary, and we'll also have urged the government to take the necessary against those security personnel who have taken the law into their own hands. We have emphasized on their deterrent measures to be taken against them. And with that few remarks, I want to urge the people of Wajir, the way they have restrained themselves, the way they have thought it wise to engage the national security and security agents so that they can be able to reach an agreement. Until then, they have decided not to open their premises. But now that we have been able to reach that agreement, then I will urge them to open their business premises and to the future to form a specific committee between business communities and the security agencies so that they can be able to iron out those differences that will be able to arise into the future. Thank you very much.